Well, I guess that's going to work. So we're just going to make do the best we can this morning. Sorry for any inconveniences or mishaps here. We've got new equipment and I've been trying it. And um, I guess YouTube just didn't want to let me use it today, but we'll work on it. We're trying to get better quality for you at home as you join us. So I moved up here to the sanctuary, see if I could get better internet service, and then it still didn't want to let me work. So this is the third try this morning. Anyway, this morning I want to share something the Lord laid on my heart. The title today is just ordinary people, and that's what we all are, is just ordinary people. I really see how true that is when I start trying to work with all this technology and do things differently and try to make things better. I'm just an ordinary person who doesn't know what he's doing. But in Matthew chapter 4, verse 18 through 22, it says, as Jesus walked beside the Sea of Galilee, he saw two brothers, Simon called Peter and Andrew his brother, throwing a net into the sea, for they were fishermen. And he said to them, follow me, and I will make you fishers of men. They immediately left their nets and followed him. And going on from there, he saw two other brothers, James, the son of Zebedee, and John, his brother, in a boat with Zebedee, their father, mending their nets, and he called them. They immediately left the boat and their father and followed him. As I read that, I think about Peter a lot. Peter was just a fisherman. He was a blue collar worker. He was just trying to make the best out of life as he could, as make a living as he knew how. And also his brother Andrew, John, and James, they were both just fishermen. Jesus wasn't walking around looking for the Pharisees or anything like that. He was looking for ordinary people, and not only that. He called them, they were fishermen. He called them off of the boats from fishing, but he didn't tell them to change their personality or any. God created them to be who they are. He said, listen, I will make you fishers of men. He knew that they were fishermen. He wasn't completely changing everything for them. He was just telling them, listen, we're just going to redirect what you do here. Here's the thing. God's not necessarily calling you away from what you know, but maybe to bring what you know to him. People get scared. They think, well, if I start following Christ, I won't be able to do the things I like. I'll have to be a different person. And, that's just not me. Not necessarily. There are some things that God calls us away from. He says you don't need to be involved in that anymore. But there's some things that aren't sinful things in our lives. We don't have to change those. God's not looking for perfect people. He will perfect us. He's not looking for polished people. He's not looking for theologians. He's not looking for intellectual people. He's looking for everyday, ordinary people to do his job, to do his work. And he's calling us in the environment that we're in to do his work. And so, just be encouraged in that. I pray that you find encouragement in that, knowing, listen, Peter, he didn't tell him, like, you're not going to fish anymore. He just said, I'm going to put you fishing for something new. In Acts chapter 4, verse 13, we see Peter again. It says, when they saw the boldness of Peter and John and perceived that they were illiterate and uneducated men, they marveled. And they recognized that they had been with Jesus. They marveled at him. Here's the thing. These were uneducated men. Peter was still just a blue-collar man doing God's work. And God called him. And even after Christ had risen from the dead, been resurrected, and ascended into heaven, it says he stood before them and they realized he was uneducated. He was illiterate. He couldn't even read, but he had been with Jesus. I want to encourage you today. Spend time with Jesus. Be with Jesus. That's when God's going to use you. God's going to use you. He's not calling everyone into being a minister, into being a pastor. He's calling people to minister to their families, to minister in their schools, to minister in their place of employment. Just ordinary people, letting an extraordinary God work through them. I pray that you're encouraged. Listen, I'll probably be posting some practice videos here. Things are just kind of going haywire for me. Y'all pray that everything just ends up working out for us on all this new equipment. I don't even know if the sound's working on this one. I'll check here in a minute. But I appreciate you. We love you, and I pray that you have a blessed day.